Good evening and welcome to City News. New trade war developments south of the border could have major implications for the future of global commerce. U.S. President Donald Trump has signed a sweeping executive order introducing reciprocal tariffs on any country that dares to slap tariffs on U.S. imports. While Canada is not included in this new round, the long-term effects could still pose a serious threat. U.S. President Donald Trump declared Wednesday the most important day in American history, calling it a day of economic independence.
You see the numbers. The numbers are so disproportionate. They're so unfair. At the same time, we will establish a minimum baseline tariff of 10%. You notice that on the chart? And that'll be on other countries to help rebuild our economy and to prevent cheating.
The executive order sets a minimum baseline tariff of 10% on goods from countries that impose tariffs on American products. Countries like China, India, and the European Union are in the crosshairs. But Canada is spared, at least for now. Trump also pointed that the U.S. is a lifeline to countries like Canada and Mexico.
We subsidize a lot of countries and keep them going and keep them in business. In the case of Mexico, it's $300 billion a year. In the case of Canada, it's close to $200 billion a year.
Existing tariffs such as those imposed on Canadian steel and aluminum will remain in place. For goods that comply with the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement, the tariff remains at zero. But for other items, it's a different story, with 25% tariffs looming on foreign-made vehicles set to take effect at midnight. Prime Minister Mark Carney, pausing his election campaign to focus on trade talks, vowed the Canadian government will act to defend Canadian interests.
The series of measures will directly affect millions of Canadians. We're going to fight these tariffs with countermeasures. We are going to protect our workers, and we are going to build the strongest economy in the G7.
At a campaign stop in Kingston, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre calling this latest announcement an unfair attack on our economy from the U.S. president.
Now President Trump is going after our auto workers. After, for decades, workers on both sides of the border locked arms to build the greatest auto sector in the world.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford also weighed in, appearing on ABC News, warning that tariffs on Canada are a direct tax on the American people.
I got to apologize to the American people. It's not you. We know it's not you. And even going down the grocery aisles, when I went down there, I saw two women flipping over the package, and I said, "What are you doing?" We're making sure that it's not made in the U.S., it's made in Canada. And that actually hurts both countries.
Meanwhile, a bipartisan group of U.S. senators voted to undo Trump's tariffs on Canadian products, calling them unconstitutional and arguing that only Congress has the authority to impose such measures.